I win. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've made it after nearly 2 years without box lacrosse. 22 games in the books over a 2-day span. Matthew Carrick alongside Pat Gregoire for the call of our final one here. It seemed like a big schedule, Patty, when we started at 11 o'clock yesterday. But here we are, 9 p.m. Sunday local time. We're alongside our JVI crew. And it's Oakville Buzz in their cream-colored jerseys, occupying the home bench. And St. Catharines Athletics working left to right here in their double blue. A huge thank you to everybody who's tuned in, even 1 or 2 or all 22. Throughout the tournament, we're going to have fun here tonight as we send you home.
Big stop there by Sam Haynes. We'll actually have 2 former Halton Hills Bulldog Junior B goalies going at it as Cam McLeod also suited up for the Bulldogs.
And somewhere Hammer is smiling. Early crease violation there, and Oakville need a win in the worst way. A win here for St. Catharines will put them tops, tied along with Brampton in that West Division. There's a quick shot here off the outside of the post from Eddie Q. Dalwick hard into the outside boards. A double team there from St. Catharines, and he's going to draw a penalty and slow to go off as well. That's Luke Dalwick. Extra attacker is on, and a hidden ball play on the far side between Follows and Marley Angus. Henry Follows, low shot that may have hit something on the way, and no over and back, and they're not really going to chase it as the shot clock about to expire, and we will get the interference call from Neil McDonald, who is joined by Roger Nurse and Mark Thompson as the officiating crew.
Yeah, interference call here was a huge booming check to Luke Dalwick. Crashed into the board. We almost had a opportunity for a goal there, but instead, Oakville going to get a power play here for 2 minutes. We'll see what they can do here.
Trent Jackson, the guilty party, who will sit for, as they say, 2 or less. Follows. Angus taking top spot. Here's Eddie Q. He'll put it down in the corner. Q back with it. Tough loss this morning for Oakville. They draw that unenviable task that Burlington had yesterday, the almost 8-hour break. As Q, the interception as St. Catharines was trying to clear. Oakville played Burlington at 11 o'clock this morning. That game was done about 12:30. But as you commented yesterday, a lot of those players live close here. So go home, get rehydrated, probably grab a nap and some food. And how about the splits there from McLeod? Not required, though, as the shot went into the corner. Q, no look. Trying to hit Angus in the corner. They've only got 5 to get one. Here on the crease going high and off McLeod and into the corner again. Rebound still picked up. Long penalty killing shift here for the boys in blue, as McLeod finally corrals it. A full minute and 10 seconds in the attacking zone for Oakville.
Impressive stuff from McLeod, and McLeod was actually supposed to be the backup goaltender this year, as they were planning on bringing in, the name is escaping me, I'll have to grab that in a second, but we'll go back to the floor here.
Of course, when you think of St. Catharines goaltenders, the big names you think of Eric Penny, Nick DeMood, who's just left.
Lane Rushka, that's it. That's the name I was looking for, from Saskatchewan. They were going to bring him in, and they did acquire his rights, obviously, though, with COVID-19, unable to come here. So hopping into a role maybe not expected, but he's answered the bell indeed.
Number of nifty passes, but nothing to show for it yet for Oakville, as the penalty has expired, and then the buzz player was dropped. Saw a few of those called on the other side where this officiating crew was for the last couple games. Of course, this was originally scheduled for the red field, but they bring it over here, so thought why not reunite the troops for one final time, get some replays and bit of everything in for this primetime matchup.
Lucky bounce there for Haynes as that went off a pipe and then his leg.
I thought Aiden Walsh had a good game this morning against Burlington, but just a few miscues, and Oakville never really found their step. Gonna need to do it in a hurry here, though. Kyle Kennery, after Eric McDonald lost his stick, gets the shot and the reset as it goes up and out of play. So this will be McDonald again. Over far side, he goes and puts it down in the corner. I believe that's Follows who's trying to find space, and another drawn penalty here for St. Catharines. Low shot and a bit of a no look, and McLeod makes the save. Rebound up for grabs. St. Catharines player taken down. And that stops play, and we'll get the penalty call. 5 minutes gone here in the period. Still awaiting our opening goal.
Might come here on the power play, as you mentioned. Oakville getting a ton of glorious chances. It just seems like, Matt, maybe one too many extra passes, trying to make that perfect play. Simplify things, and they have a ton of great shooters. Take that open look when it comes. Maybe look to see if Angus can get something going up top.
It's been interesting the last 2 days, Pat, as Angus does find, I believe that's Kennery in the middle. Loose ball here will go all the way to the outside boards. Zach Kearney. And loose ball interference, it'll go to St. Catharines. The teams that got practice time and the teams that didn't, some of the ones that did, married to the plays a little too much that they practiced itching to get back on the floor, whereas some of the ones that didn't have fared okay is they're just playing improv.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's the beauty of box lacrosse. You can draw up as many plays as you want, but at the end of the day, you just got to be a player and think on the fly.
See Luke Dahlwick getting some attention now from the trainer, and he's got his gear off. So not a good sign over there for one of their young prospects here on this Oakville team. And of course, in this building, that would have a lot of people concerned. Here's Angus. Shot there, McLeod covers up. He's gonna hang on, was waiting for a whistle. That did eventually come. McLeod gets us all the way to Tyler Halls. This looks like a warm-up drill back and forth across the center line right now. But finally, Carter Zavitz decides to go north-south. Keelan Pilon as well, down into the corner, late in the shot clock. It's down under 5. Pilon all by himself as he's taken down and now stripped, and an extra chop after the fact. And Pilon down. I believe Chris Weir is going to go off. That's unnecessary that late in the shot clock with your team about to take off running.
Yeah, absolutely. Those are the penalties that will just drive a coach wild, and it is actually Jonathan Gagalardi, I think, who is going to sit down here for at least a power play here for that slash. Like you said, though, that's an unnecessary penalty and something that the ref's going to call every single time.
St. Catharines penalty just expires. They had their 5 attackers up, allowing the man from the box to be replaced by the goaltender. So Alex Simmons taking top spot. Looking back across, Sam Leclerc. Simmons got away from him momentarily. Now Leclerc again for Pilon. Back up top, Simmons. A number of side steps before ripping one, and Haynes will collapse over top. Caleb Commandant. Commandant in the corner now. Follows wearing the captain's C. Backs all the way out in front of the St. Catharines bench. Looking for help. Commandant finally there to provide a pick. As the shot clock down to 7. Commandant and Follows. and thrown away in the corner. 7 minutes to go here in period number 1. Both teams looking for a victory, both for different reasons. As Oakville tries to keep pace in the West Division. Currently Brampton sitting all alone with a 3-1 record. St. Catharines can match that here today. Looking to sit atop the West Division. Remember, only the top 2 will come back in 2 weeks for championship weekend.
Next weekend, I think you got to get your calculators ready. I think we're just bound to have a couple of tiebreakers here with how just close these games have been. Teams beating each other, head-to-head nightmare. I think there's a good chance that it's going to come down to the wire, Matt.
Don't say that too loud, because if they find out we need smart people, I might not be back next week.
Well, I'll be in the same boat as you. Not a big math guy, that's for sure.
At least I know where to watch. JVI Sports Network YouTube channel. You can subscribe. Make sure you're subscribed to both of them with your notifications on to not miss any of the 22 games next weekend. Because trust me, they fly by quick. Chris Weir. Down shot there just past the left foot of Cam McDonald. Must have hit it though as the clock resets. Kennery back for follows. One-man change coming here. Eddie Q. Q dancing his way in off the end boards. Another one for Angus, who got filled in as McLeod makes the save.
Pretty remarkable. 5 minutes into this game, still 0 goals. And you look at all the offensive talent on both sides of the ball, no one able to solve these 2 goaltenders from the Halton Hills Bulldogs as well. I'll give another shout out to Hammer.
All right, that's enough.
Yeah, I'm done, don't worry.
Out in front, Haynes. The save and the rebound. Coming out and picked up by Gagliardi. He's got speed. They have numbers. 4-on-2 and a bouncer well in front of McLeod. And up and out of play from Gagliardi. Possibly the best chance of the game so far for Oakville to break the ice.
Right idea, just poor execution. And that sometimes happens when you get those defensive players running in transition.
Eyes get wide, don't they, Patty?
Oh, they certainly do. I've been there before.
That pass bouncing out of the St. Catharines stick. Crease ball here as we get down to 4 minutes left to go. And again, this 9 p.m. game took a bit to settle in last night as well, but we got a barn burner between KW and Burlington. As a shot comes through, that one Haynes turns aside with the left hand, all the way to the outside. A reset of the shot clock for Braden Maya. Cutting in and all alone, the best chance of the game there for Maya and the Athletics. But Haynes there to slam the door and keep us scoreless. Chris Weir running down with Kearney, his twist of his shot. McLeod over top of it, and game's starting to open up a little bit now as Trent Jackson runs in.
And this is the way that St. Catharines wants to play. They want to move the ball up the floor, take their chances when it's there, and when it's not, pull out, let the offense do their work.
I would have hurt myself trying to do what Jackson Webster just did, trying to stay out of the crease, but he did just that. As the shot comes and it's off a body in front, a pair of 10s go crashing into the outside boards. Shot clock reset, count shouldn't have as the count is down on the floor. Both Neil McDonald and Mark Thompson had it, but the whistle comes from Roger Nurse.
That's the right call there. You could see the entire coaching staff of Oakville, most notably David Brock there, wondering why the clock was reset, but the officials figured it out on the floor. Good on them for that.
Big hit there, and maybe falling too easy for Reed Lowe. That's what the official thought anyways, as Q tries a dive attempt. Shot rises away from him as we near the 2-minute warning. Trent Jackson has Pilon off the bench. Right back again for Jackson Webster. Maya. Ball eventually works for Hayes as Chris Dong gets filled in with Jackson Webster. Webster and Dong pick themselves up off the floor.
And Webster limping off to the bench. You don't like to see that at all.
Saw a couple plays like that in my last game, Six Nations and KW over on the other floor, and this late in the tournament and the day, it was just cramping, thank goodness.
And Matt, I think I mentioned in the last night's broadcast, I know I did in a couple other games, but I think having a deep roster and guys that you're going to be able to dig in is going to be huge here in the condensed season.
We'd be remiss if we didn't mention, talking about Oakville, the man who normally wears their captaincy, Phil Mazuka, lost in the initial game. Their coaching staff asked me to give him a shout out. Came back from that injury and joined the team at their team dinner last night.
Nails, absolute nail gun.
40 seconds left to go, and shot clock about to expire. As I was about to credit that to Q, but I believe it's Justin Lee who goes jogging off. But man, Q has tried about every which way to score in this game, and him and everybody else snake bit so far.
Goaltenders are standing strong here.
Pilon just inside the restraining line, looking for space, under 10 on the clock. Sidearm shot there, stuffed by the defense. And Jack follows here for Gagliardi. He's got help. Gagliardi right in. McLeod makes the save. Rebound to the far side, but no time to do anything with it. A scoreless first period here in our final game of the weekend between St. Catharines and Oakville.
Goaltenders are shining here. A 0-0 game. Unbelievable to think, but both these goalies have been strong, Matt.
They absolutely have. Still half an hour left to go, and we'll be back with more from the Toronto Rock Athletic Center here in Oakville, Ontario.
We wanted to build something special, and that's what's brought us here to this campus. We feel like this is a special place. There's 134 acres of pristine nature, and it's going to be a place where our student athletes can really explore the boundaries of their potential. And we don't want it to feel like school. We want it to feel like home in their own community.
For the last 13 years, we've worked really hard to build a program and environment for dedicated student athletes to thrive and to reach their potential. We're ready for that next step. And that next step is to be on a campus that enhances that environment and enhances that culture. The first day I stepped foot on this property, I knew that it was the right fit and the perfect environment for our student athletes to reach their potential.
We have student athletes that come from all different backgrounds and all different places from around the world, and immediately as they come through the gates here individually, they're going to feel at home here. Being in a serene environment like that, they can focus on making good choices and making decisions that get them closer to their goals. There's great power and advantage for a student athlete to have everything on one campus, and having a private school education with individual attention to a robust strength and conditioning program, to a unique athletic experience, and one that really will allow a student athlete to explore the boundaries of their potential.
It's not just a school, it will be a home for all of our student athletes and staff. We have custom academic building, we have an on-site cafeteria, we have residence buildings, and there's a lot of power and strength in having everything in-house and on-site and accessible to our student athletes at all times.
Our philosophy at the Hill Academy is to have a balanced experience, and we feel like this campus really gives our students the space to try to achieve that balance and have opportunities to detach from their rigorous academic and athletic schedule. It can be demanding, it can be stressful, and we want our students to have space, you know, to reflect on their own, to have their own space, to share those in-between times with their fellow classmates and form, you know, deep, meaningful, impactful relationships. And that's a big part of this experience at the Hill.
This is a really significant development for the Hill Academy. I reflect with profound gratitude for all the families, Hill alumni, student athletes, and staff that have really laid the foundation for where we are today. I also look forward with excitement, you know, at all the possibilities for our present and future student athletes at a location such as this. From the moment I stepped foot on this site, there was a feeling, I want to say almost a spirit that I sensed. And I really felt that this is an ideal development for us in the new chapter of the Hill Academy. The feather is a talisman, almost a symbol. It's a logo on all our uniforms. And basically the idea behind the feather is that if you will something to happen, it will emerge, but at different places, sometimes places you don't expect. And in our history, the feather has appeared. And to me, the feather has appeared here.
Welcome back inside the Toronto Rock Athletic Center, the blue turf, for our final game of weekend number 1 of the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League season. The box score reads as follows. That's it. A lot of that right there. Haynes with a save. And Cam McLeod the other way.
If you don't like good defense and great goaltending, turn this thing off now, because the defense and goalies have dominated this contest so far.
Probably shouldn't have used the word follows. There's 2 of them that play for Oakville. But teams have switched sides as St. Catharines now runs right to left on your screen and draws a holding call here. And it's headed off as Owen Friesen.
Owen Friesen, one of the many NLL commitments. He was a Halifax Thunderbird draft pick here, so he'll be heading over to the East Coast for his NLL camp.
5 of them listed on this athletics roster. They've been pumping out professional athletes for a long time down in that St. Catharines, Niagara area.
Yeah, and Thomas Whitty, the captain of this team, the anchor back on defense, already has a full season of NLL under his belt playing with the Rochester Nighthawks.
Spin move there from John Kitt. There was a St. Catharines player dropped in front of his bench, and they want a call. Mark Thompson does have his arm high here, so we may be going 4-on-4 with McLeod on the bench. Back up top for Simmons. Shot there from Pilon, and again, this is one of those rule changes where you can continue possession on a delayed penalty, and they'll want to do that to take as much of this minute off their penalty. Will St. Catharines to capitalize on their power play back on the other end.
Yeah, very, very smart point there. They're just going to want to try to chew up as much clock as they can so they can get a longer power play.
Pilon into the corner. Simmons wants it back up top. He gets it with about 5 left on the clock. And huge check there, jars the ball free, and there will be no time for a shot, and we'll get that penalty. But that clock went from about 1:20 when the arm went high down to 34 seconds.
Yeah, that's a great job chewing up that clock, 34 seconds. We'll see 4-on-4, but that still is an advantage here for this offense, I think, at least for the Athletics. They have a lot of fast, quick, agile players who can move the ball, so more space to run that 2-man game.
I believe it's Curtis Goddard going off, and I think it was holding. Bench still wasn't happy with the missed call at the bench, so I don't think that was the one that got tagged.
No, I don't think so as well.
Here's Pilon trying the pick and roll, but well aware is the defense here of Oakville. Running in Gagliardi. Gagliardi scores! You sensed it was only a matter of time for him leading the transition attack about 3 or 4 times tonight and breaks the ice.
Yeah, Gagliardi's been doing a great job running the floor. We saw him a couple of times just missing the net, but this one had no chance. It was not going to find the back of the net. Beautifully placed shot going right over the shoulder of McLeod.
17 minutes and 32 seconds without a goal
We'll
for
see
either
here.
side.
And that play right there, just not only just being able, what he's doing right now, but to go back, grab that ball with one hand, run it up the floor, and then just blast that shot. Such a quick release. He didn't really wind up, and it still was a very strong shot.
Chris Dong, Mason Kaminga will do battle here at the faceoff. Kaminga draws it out and bats it all the way back down into his own zone. I heard somebody call for the back in call. You knew it was coming. Toller doesn't miss a thing, does he?
He does not.
That's Steve Toll, the head coach of a number of organizations over the years, but Team Ontario at one point, but now the former St. Catharines Athletic himself on the bench.
He'll find himself down in Panther City, coaching the new expansion team next year as an assistant coach.
Haynes nearly got back to his left to take that quick stick away, but we're tied up again, 1-1 as St. Catharines scores on the power play.
And this is a little more of the offense that we're used to seeing from St. Catharines, that great ball movement. Pilon, a little more of a distributor, but obviously showing there that he can get it done when putting the ball on the net as well. A beautiful quick stick right in the back of the net. Been very impressed with his game so far. I know a lot of NLL scouts here as well. It is his draft year, so he has to impress them as well.
Gagliardi at the dot this time against Tyler Halls. Halls listed as a commitment to the Vancouver Warriors. Ball pops high here and drops down here for Oakville. Every time they pick up, it's a mad dash to scamper all the way down the floor. Brief pick to get on the correct side. McLeod looked like he stumbled and still managed to make the save.
Right off the dome.
Yes, here comes Thomas Whitty. They still come off the bench, diving through. Right in front was Maya. Braden Maya in front of his own bench, picks it up, and he'll pass to Whitty, who will slow things down. Excuse me, this is Simmons now. It's Alex Simmons with 5 on the shot clock. Takes the shot and it's just off the left hand there of Haynes. As Jacob Martino spins away from pressure. Martino, far side for Stephen Portelli. For Follows and Kearney. Kearney thought he was going to split the defense and shoot. Gives for Follows instead. Kearney wants to pick it out. Does! Over top of McLeod. And Kearney will score.
There's one of those rule changes you talk about, Matt. Being able to go inside the crease, grab the loose ball, and keep it active. This time it's Kearney. He goes in, scoops that up. We'll see right here on the replay. He attacks, feeds it. Shot's going to come right here. And Kearney heads up play, crashes the crease, picks it up, puts it away. I know I said I wouldn't say it again, but I'm going to say it. Former Halton Hills Junior B Bulldog.
3 strikes.
Hey, I'm the last guy who wants to pump the Bulldogs' tires over the years with the Ironheads. So I'll give credit where it's due, though. They have done a good job producing players to go to the next level. And it's on display here in the OJLL this year.
Angus, he tries the dive. And off the inside of the pipe. And we were corrected last night after the game that dive play has been legal for some time in the Ontario Junior A loop, as long as your feet stay out of the cylinder. And it's not a full slate of NLL rules. We may have misspoke last night. Only 8 changes so far.
Yeah, and I think the reason why we're seeing more crease dives here this weekend is because of the turf.
The turf, yes.
Not all teams, actually majority of the teams still playing on that concrete.
And most of them haven't played anywhere for a couple seasons. Here's Goddard, fake the pass and change direction last second, and it goes top corner. Nothing McLeod can do there. That's just pretty for a 2-goal lead.
That is a gorgeous shot, and this is how Oakville has to play if they want to be successful. Push the ball up the floor. Use their athletes out the back end. You see here, just pushing the ball up the floor. This beautiful fake, like you said. Oh, absolutely makes the defense and goalie bite there. Puts it perfectly over the shoulder. McLeod couldn't do anything there.
Nearly 6 minutes gone in the period. The second period, that is. You'll look at the score and think it's the first, but just 3-1. We finished the first scoreless. As now Dong and Hall is back to the face-off dot. Still looking to dig it out. Finally, Kevin Dong there to help out brother Chris. And throw it back up top for Eddie Q. You want to pump the tires of Halton Hills Bulldogs, you go ahead. But I'm noticing a ton of Rock Elite League players, especially on this Oakville Buzz roster. Q and the Dong brothers as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, this building, this facility, and the Rock Elite League has been huge for development of these young players being able to play all year long. Now, with 2 full turf pads, the development's only going to continue for lacrosse here in Oakville and the surrounding areas and all of Ontario for that matter.
Kearney up for Goddard with 10 on their clock. It's reset with the save from McLeod, but picked up here by St. Catharines. Aiden Bice has a man off the bench. It's Maya again. Maya there for Simmons. Lost it momentarily, and it will be picked up here by Oakville. It's Jack follows. No one behind him. His shot goes just wide. And another one where he had everybody frozen. Now they're really overthinking it, I think. St. Catharines, after watching that shot go in. Are they going to pass? Or are they going to shoot? Midway point of the game. As from the outside, a bounce shot. Simmons past the pile of players, and they all end up in the crease. And it's going to be due to a high stick call.
Absolute tremendous save by Haynes there. Just being able to get that low hand makes the stop. But his team's going to be short as Goddard, the most recent goal scorer, is now going to sit down. So we've seen St. Catharines, when they get their guys out there, when they really hum the ball around, they can be deadly on the power play. We'll see if they can get it going once again.
Is that his second time tonight, I think, for Goddard? As Carter Zavitz will quarterback the power play this time. Down in the corner, Simmons. From the shooter spot, they go back to the near side. Man in the middle. Taken down as he shot with Sam LeClaire. And another good save from Haynes. Collision again, this time in front of the Oakville bench. And they were calling for a penalty. Roger Nurse said he saw it. As here's Henry follows. 5 in the shot clock. Follows. Low shot, and that's off the foot of Thomas Whitty. I just looked up, the owner's box here is absolutely packed. Are those the scratches for Oakville? Or are we having a little family friend get together up there? I don't know, I've never seen that many people upstairs.
I'll have to look to see. I think
kind of threw me off a little bit, but Oakville, a couple Oakville Buzz players maybe watch it from the press box here. There's a shot, quick stick. They watch it go behind the net, and another power play marker for St. Catharines. Both of them on the extra man here in this game so far.
And that's one thing that seems to be working so far for St. Catharines is this man advantage, and we'll get a better look right here. Great ball movement. Simmons waits over to Pilon. Pilon, that's that playmaking ability that I talked about that Pilon's so great at. Great vision, fires it across the far side and scores.
Under 6 to play in the period as this will be dragged out by Tyler Halls. Still battling over who's going to control the faceoff, however, and it'll be Gagliardi as Commandant fell and took a defender's stick with him. Chris Weir. Changes still coming as they get the draw team off. As the ball is on the far side, now works into the corner. Around the pick for McDonald. Hard shot from Q, and McLeod rather, out to the top of his crease to make that save. Logging in, we get a whistle, and I think an 8-second call and a delay of game penalty for Tyler Halls. Is it Halls? No, headed straight across is McDonald, who's going to the bench. It is Halls who's going to go sit.
Yeah, Halls was kind of pleading his case, I should say. Trying to drop the ball, but obviously not enough of an intention there to let it go, so he's going to sit down. And now we'll see Oakville go to the power play.
That's not only been as zero tolerance as you can be in this, I keep wanting to call it tournament, as McLeod makes another save to his right-hand side, but a couple seasons now in Junior A.
No doubt. Halls easily could have avoided that by just getting it over. It looked like he was taking his time just a little bit too there. He's a good athlete. He can beat his man, get it deep, avoid that situation there.
Ball in the stick of Maya after Webster cleaned room for him. He dives through, gets the reset as they continue to try and kill off this penalty. Remember, we saw that big for them early on. It led to their first goal of the game as they scored on the ensuing power play. They ran about 40 seconds off, and they scored with 35 seconds left in that man advantage. Here's Simmons over the top, running out of time, and no help there, no rebound to speak of either, as Haynes got to dig deep for that one. 4 minutes left to go in our second period, 45 seconds left here in the man advantage for Oakville. Marley Angus, Eddie Q. He goes down in the corner. They've got Kyle Kennery down there. Henry follows. And Zach Kearney. All 5 have touched it as Angus cuts through, takes a shot, and a good save from McLeod. Here's Kearney. And Angus over his shoulder for follows. Angus back up top. Q, no shot for him. They go to Kyle Kennery. No relation to the official. Huge hit there. As hitting the turf was Mason Kaminga. I believe that was Eddie Q that sent him flying. St. Catharines called timeout here, I think. Clock continues to run in-house, though. It's now stopped, but I think they were calling St. Catharines timeout.
That's what the official gestured toward the bench. Roger Nurse having a discussion with Thomas Whitty, the captain of St. Catharines. We talked about, obviously, the athletics coaching staff, I should say, with Steve Toll, Ian Rubel, Ken Millen, Kyle Matisse, and Rob Taylor. Well, pretty impressive staff on the other side. Joel Johnson and Will Peshnek coming over from the Green Gales Junior B program, and then, of course, David Brock and Kyle Emery as well. So I've said this all weekend long. You look from top to bottom in the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League, each team has coaching staffs littered with NLL legends. And quickly, we will take a break here as the officials take a break. I want to remind you that our broadcast is brought to you by the Dairy Farmers of Ontario, #MilkUp. But as I was saying there, Matt, just littered from top to bottom, all these coaching staffs, NLL legends, NLL coaches, current NLL coaches, and other coaches that have had so much experience at every single level. That's just great to see for the development for the game.
And we're seeing more and more of that, as you said, at the junior B and other levels. It used to be everybody wanted to be a junior A head coach, and if it wasn't that, you weren't interested. But
absolutely. I mean, you can even talk about even the minor lacrosse. You go to some of those tournaments, although we haven't done that in quite some time with minor lacrosse being on freeze, but you look at the benches there for even a bantam game, guys giving back to the game, and that's the way that the game is going to truly grow.
here's a big shot down into the corner, and it will be... Shot clock did not reset. It was lifted up and over the glass, and it's going to go to Oakville. Team that really set the standard for that was the Orangeville Northmen, up and down that system. You really saw guys giving back to the game long before a lot of other programs, and now with the success they're having, I think it started to catch on.
Just watching Gagliardi run to the bench there, immediately grabbing his hamstring. Hopefully it's just a cramp from playing a lot of games this weekend and nothing too serious. We'll have to keep an eye on that, Matt.
Especially for him, again, already without Phil Mazuka and now Gagliardi, who was leading the charge on transition throughout this game. Oakville still clinging to that 1-goal lead, however, as we approach the 2-minute warning.
You mentioned Phil Mazuka, obviously, with that injury. It's unfortunate for him. He was drafted by the Toronto Rock, so uncertain if we're going to see him at camp with such a severe injury like that. You got to assume probably not.
Dive attempt there for Goddard. And this Oakville squad, I look over and still see Luke Dawick. He's been grabbing the rib and kind of back area for a while, and they took his gear away from him to make sure he didn't come back into the game. As a dive attempt here, and that got into the leg of Haynes. He's going for a walk, and not a comfortable one either, in behind the play to our left. The list seems to keep growing here for the Oakville Buzz. Kennery. Whitty pushing him outside. Here's Kearney feeding it back into the middle. Big chop there for an Oakville player. Shot clock will sound, however, as we approach the last minute. St. Catharines has already taken a timeout in this period. Oakville has both of theirs remaining for the game. Just as we get close enough here, remind you of those stats. Carter Zavitz. He'll go to his left for Simmons. Back to the right. Pilon with a man all over him. He's going to draw his second penalty of the game. This time it'll be a hold with 43.8 left here in the first, and a chance for St. Catharines to tie it going to break.
Yeah, this is absolutely massive for St. Kitts. Get a possession here quick. Try to score. 43 seconds left. You can tie things up. Great. If not, keep your head level because you're going to go back into next period with the power play only trailing by 1.
They'll start with Simmons up top. He goes to Pilon down into the corner. Working their way back through the lefties. They look off Savitz in the corner. He's the only one that hasn't touched it yet. Here is Simmons, the low shot. Enon Haynes looked to be okay there as he made that low save. Rebound comes all the way back close to the face-off area, though. Here's Zavitz. Now Pilon. 20 seconds left in the period. Down into the corner. Check the clock as it's back for Simmons. Zavitz setting a pick. I believe they've got Sam LeClaire down there in the corner. As Simmons gets it back, they call for the play with 4 seconds left. It is a quick stick play. One-timer for LeClaire. Oh! Shovel shot right at the buzzer from Maya, and Haynes makes a pair of saves to keep it 3-2.
I mean, the goaltenders have stolen the show here in our nightcap, and why not finish the way with a big save from Sam Haynes?
11-11 after 2 last night, 3-2 after 2 here this evening. And both games incredible as we try and put a cap here on the first weekend of the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League season. You are indeed watching OJLL Lacrosse on the JVI Sports Network. We get set for period number 3, the final period of the weekend after 21 other games. That's 63 periods plus another 2 for 65. Get to 66 by the end of the next 15 minutes. On behalf of JVI Sports Network, a huge shout out to the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League. That includes new commissioner Mark Grimes. I know Jeremy Bailey's been working hard behind the scenes, and huge shout out to Colleen Grimes, a huge part of putting this weekend on. It's been a huge success. A lot of people excited to see lacrosse back in a very, I don't know, man, I'm pumped.
Absolutely. I mean, it's kind of sad. This is our last game of the weekend, but good thing, Matt, we hit the reset button next Saturday at 11 o'clock.
Good thing that all these games are archived too. If you can't find something to do this week, relive it all and get set for another 22 coming next weekend. There's a save by the stick of Haynes. And if you're a fan of Oakville, I was about to give you some more good news as Gagliardi took his helmet and went back to the bench, but still trying to walk out that hamstring as he continues to get work done on the trainer's table. Power play in full effect for St. Catharines. Their 2 goals on the board have both come by way of the extra man, but not on that possession, however, as Chris Weir will take it back for Oakville. 18 seconds left. They can take the whole thing down if they so choose. I think that's what the bench wants, and the players are going to comply. Weir back up over the top, 5 in his shot clock. He goes to the outside boards. We are 5-on-5 now. Lets a low one go. Oh boy, as McLeod was right on top of it, nearly snuck through the 5-hole.
That indeed was a close one. McLeod had to be sharp there, not to move too quickly, let the ball trickle through his legs and into the net.
Back to the outside, a moving screen. Bit of a late call too from Neil McDonald just as the shot was coming, but it will be Oakville possession, and they'll try and keep it out of the sticks of St. Catharines as long as possible here in the third. Kennery to the outside. Pardon me. That was Kearney, not Kennery. As it's picked up here by Goddard, takes it in alone and he'll score. Somehow stripped it from 2 athletics players, and it's a 2-goal lead.
Goddard with goal number 2 of the game, the first one in transition. This one just as big as a hustle play as he outworks both blue shirts there, picks up the ball, and cashes in to extend the lead to 2.
Only one teammate there to celebrate with him. The rest were on the bench as you saw the shot clock tick down to 3 as that one goes in. Here, 2 minutes and 15 seconds into our final frame. And the way this one's gone, that 2 goals normally doesn't look big, but it looks massive right now.
No doubt the Athletics are going to have to get some sort of boost going here on offense.
Back to Simmons and 5-on-5 offense. Here's Simmons. Carter Zavitz up top. He tries the bouncer. It goes wide off the end glass. It's going to bounce all the way back to center and into the timekeeper's box. So they go back for Oakville, and Gagliardi's getting undressed. Looks like his night is done.
That's a tough loss.
Unfortunately, they lose Dawick and Gagliardi in this game after losing Mazuka yesterday. Here's Q. Spin move in behind, nicely done there by the Athletics, but we're late in the 8 count here. Only about 3 more seconds to get it over half, and they do not.
Unbelievable forecheck by Oakville, really asserting their athleticism against the Athletics.
Kennery and Trent Jackson get involved. They've taken their battle all the way right in front of the crease. It started at half court. 11 and a half left to go. Henry follows, just flipped that one back. Was intended for Kennery, but into the stick of Trent Jackson. Whitty. Up for LeClaire. Nearly had a spectacular goal to end that second period between him and Maya. Let's play back for Webster. Jackson Webster's hard shot. Late in the clock as well, and the buzz will let the shot clock expire as Portelli follows. Out to the far side, Angus. Back for Kevin Dong. Far side, Henry follows. A man in front. Cutter there was Eric McDonald, and his shot just went wide with 5 in the shot clock. Up and over center. Aiden Bice. For Maya. Down in the corner, Pilon. Maya and Pilon, hard shot. Haynes not sure where it is. Does the pirouette on his knees. It squirted out the back door, and it's in the stick of the Athletics with a fresh 30. Maya, man up top. Really scrambly offense here. Zavitz, nearly a pick and roll there with Simmons. They try it again as Pilon draws the double team. Zavitz rather, but Haynes intercepts the pass intended for Pilon.
Zavitz and Simmons combined for 28 points heading in today. Just a lone assist for both of them. So obviously Coach Toll is going to want more out of his dynamic duo at the top.
And there's going to be some happy coaches over on that Oakville side. Sidearm shot there from Q around a screen. And with all the games being available online, all in the same building, real easy for the coaches to get a good look at your opposition. I'm sure there were no naps for the coaches this afternoon, despite perhaps living close to the building. Here's a good chance here for St. Catharines, and running himself out of real estate after a number of moves in front was Sam LeClaire. So close, but so far away for maybe the third time in this game for LeClaire.
Yeah, and you know what? Mentioning St. Catharines just not being able to produce, it's not for a lack of chances. They're getting their looks. The ball is just not sinking at this point, and you got to give credit to Haynes as well. He's been tremendous.
Hard shot there. McLeod goes down to make the save. Big hit coming here on the ball carrier, as that was Kaminga that picked up the loosey, and will get it across center in the stick of Whitty. Webster and Pilon. Back for Webster again. They've got, and coming off the bench, here's Simmons. Tried to flip it back, realizes he still has it, and tries to take the shot. And he was stuffed by Haynes as he went into the crease. He gets up a little slowly and slowly jogging off the floor as well. Midway mark of this third period. 2-goal lead for Oakville. Trying to make an absolute mess of the standings, but do it in their favor. Huge fake from Q before he takes flight, and the shot goes wide. He's got to clear out because there's another one coming on the way, and it does hit McLeod, who ended up falling over, and then Oakville.
Thank goodness for that whistle there, as McLeod didn't even have a glove on his one hand. That could have been really bad.
Here's Eddie Q. I think that's what Mark Thompson saw. I was actually watching the Oakville player take down the St. Catharines player in behind the net, so I was kind of surprised at the whistle, but I'm glad you pointed that out, because yes, that is a matter of utmost the goalie safety. Kennery takes his man down and could have been from behind. The arm of Mark Thompson is high. This may be a 4-minute, 8-second count against St. Catharines. If you're wondering why the play stopped like I was for a second when they touched the ball, but this is going to be Kennery, and they call 2 for interference. So that could be a break for Oakville. I didn't think it was much from behind, but I did think it was on the back, and Mark Thompson using his game management skills there.
And that's one thing I think the officials, for the most part, have done a good job managing the game, like you said, not always just automatically calling it that hit from behind, so it's an automatic 5. So I think that's the right call there. I think you are right, though. I do think it was on the numbers, but I think he did pull up enough not to make it a dangerous hit from behind there. Yeah, sorry, 4. Matthew correcting me there. A double minor from behind.
They check to make sure Haynes is ready. He is, as now Eddie Q is over by the trainer's table. What is going on the Oakville Buzz sideline right now? Pilon to Zavitz. Shot goes wide, and Kevin Dong can't come down with it. Jack Follows takes the shot angle away, and every time a player gets the ball, look at someone jump right in their face. That time it was Commandant, and jumping on top of the shot is Haynes. Eddie Q looks like he's about ready to get back in the game here, grabbing his helmet. So maybe just a quick breather.
The buzz dropping like flies today with all these injuries.
Sorry. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but that was very well played.
I'll let you guess if it was or not.
I don't normally get got that well.
It's the first time for everything, I guess, Matt.
Oh, man. Here's Pilon up top for Simmons. I laughed through the entirety of that possession. It's not over yet, though, as Simmons gets hacked from behind. He wanted a call, not coming. Shot after the horn.
It's a long day, Matt. It's a long day. Don't worry. It's okay.
It's been a long couple days.
Long weekend, indeed.
And that's why I gave the shout-outs earlier on. As long as we thought it was for us, it's been many, many, many more hours for those names I mentioned before: Mark Grimes, Jeremy Bailey, Colleen Grimes, and the rest of the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League front office and the OLA members. Box lacrosse is back in Ontario, folks. Go tell your friends. A lot of people have told their friends on social media and otherwise throughout the week. We approached nearly 20,000 views yesterday alone, and I'm sure that number has gone up even more here today. So thank you to all the viewers out there. Commandant pushes his man out wide. Again, late in the shot clock, a stutter step here from Jackson Webster. Hard defense from Jack Follows, takes him all the way to the turf, and the shot clock expires again. Picked up by Oakville, though. They did get the reset. And Six Nations, St. Catharines will get it back. Again, if you've joined us late, Oakville sitting at 1 win and 2 losses. They need the victory to stay in with a shot. Gave Brampton with 3, and that shot off the mask of Follows and up out of play.
The energy could not be higher on the Oakville bench now. Anytime a big defensive play happens, they just absolutely erupt.
And Oakville has used their timeout, their first one of the game, probably to give a bit of a blow here to some of those players who have been out there for a lengthy amount of time. And what a great point to you. We thanked you, the viewers, and we couldn't have done it without the Ontario dairy farmers. Our thanks to them as well, as they remind you to hashtag milk up, a huge supporter of these broadcasts and the OJLL here this weekend. Don't want to jump the gun and say they're back next week. I think they are, though, yes?
Don't want to jump the gun either, Matt, but I do believe so, yes.
They should be, after we said that there were 20,000 plus that watched us yesterday, but
absolutely.
I'll let someone else work on those details, because clearly I've got work to do on my end as well.
Oakville should be looking into grabbing a couple of bags or jugs of milk with how many injuries they've been going through, but it is a war of attrition. You know injuries are going to happen. It's an unfortunate part of sports, but when you have these games so condensed, injuries are no doubt going to happen. They happen every season as well.
And we said it yesterday, over the course of a 3 or 4 month long season where you're playing 20 games, it's a marathon, not a sprint. We hear that all the time. This is a sprint, not a marathon, but you got to be there at the end, so it feels a bit of both.
Mm-hmm. No doubt.
Here with 8 games over a span of about 10 days, except they're combined over a course of 4. with 5 days rest in between. McLeod is on the bench. There's a quick shot there, and Haynes falls over top of the shot from Braden Maya. Three minutes left here. Eddie Q is back on the floor. Marley Angus. Back to the outside for Kearney. And down low, 5 on the shot clock. Kearney lets one fly. McLeod there to make the catch. Again, still just 2 goals here for Oakville, but they've been hard to come by. Our director set the over-under for 21.
Hammered the under. Hammered the under.
Or we're in for a doozy of a 2 minute, 22 seconds.
I've lost worse bets before.
Sam LeClaire. Say what, Patty?
There you go. I told you. I mushed it. I mushed the under. No, but this is a beautiful goal here from LeClaire, and he's one of these offensive guys that needed to get going. And we'll see here, extra attacker out. Crashing and banging in the middle. But Pilon, again, with another assist there. This time it's the second assist. And that's just a great shot from LeClaire. The bounce beating Haynes. And LeClaire coming into this game, 8 points, 5 goals, 3 assists. He needed to be involved. He got engaged a little bit late here, but 2 minutes to go. Only 1 goal to tie this thing up.
Well, as we said it earlier with that Gagliardi transition goal, that one's been coming all game for LeClaire. He's been all over the net, and you know, you and I don't have a horse in the race, but almost good to see him get that one after the game that LeClaire has had. And it shrinks the lead to 1 with 2 minutes left, and McLeod back on the St. Catharines bench. Jackson Webster. He'll go to Pilon. And Webster. A lot of traffic in front. Finally, it breaks free. Back up top for the most recent goal scorer in LeClaire. Down low this time. And no shot as the ball ended up loose in the crease. There's going to be tons of ball pressure here. Here's Chris Dong. And Dong gets bullied all the way out of possession. Angus was cutting to the net. They couldn't get it to him. They get it to Weir instead. Back on the near side. Kearney cutting through, and it's Angus with McLeod down. Beautiful ball movement from Oakville, restoring the 2-goal lead with just over a minute left.
That is a massive goal for Oakville. Marley Angus coming off a Division III NCAA title with RIT, playing with a ton of confidence. This is a great feed, just coming right off the bench. Kearney, couple of big fakes. That actually went off the stick and down. Great feed, though. Good vision by Kyle Kennery to get that across to Angus. 2-goal ball game with just over a minute to go.
Kearney and Kennery has been messing me up all game here, but eventually in the net off the stick of Marley Angus, and St. Catharines will control the faceoff. I believe St. Catharines has another timeout left here in this period. And they took that one in the second early, right? Here's Pilon over to the far side. Oakville has used theirs for the period. As the shot clock resets, dumped down the floor, and Weir is going to chase. Can McLeod beat it back? No, he cannot. 40 seconds left. It's a 3-goal lead, and the celebration is on over on that Oakville bench.
What a gritty performance here by Oakville. Start that game off at 11. Have to sit around all day. Of course, obviously you can go home just down the road, most of these guys. But you come back here, you know it's pretty much a must win. And the effort that comes out from this defense and in Sam Haynes as well. And we'll just see the empty net goal here. Chris Wire will just throw that right into the yawning cage. But just an unbelievable effort from top to bottom, but especially the defense and this goaltender in Sam Haynes. A truly, truly gritty victory to stay alive. I
got to read some math textbooks this week because We have 3 teams in a 5-team division, or 6-team division, pardon me, with 2 wins apiece. Only Brampton sitting atop 3-1. And Peterborough in behind, or pardon me, KW in behind. But the rest of this division wide open. What a game, what a day, what a weekend. As the Oakville Buzz win 6-3. Your final score here in, as you said, just a defense, gritty, heart and soul battle.
Yeah, you have players getting injured, playing hurt. But Oakville knew it was a must win. They had to win this game to get in that jam lock of all the other teams at 2-2. And you talked about the West, the East. I mean, it is wide open as well with a couple of teams at 3-1 and a couple at 2-2. We are in for an interesting weekend next week, Matt.
All of those games will be posted in the same playlist on our main JVI YouTube channel. Be sure you're subscribed to both as we take you through all 22 next weekend as well. Turn your notifications on every time we go live. That'll let you know what game's on and what time. Visit OntarioJuniorLacrosse.com for next week's schedule. Be sure to follow at the OJLL and at JVI Video on social media. Our producer today has been Gary Morrison. Hats off to him for working here all day the past 2 days. Our director, Alex Frazow. Rachel Wolf, part of our JVI crew. Ryan Harkness as well. On behalf of them and my partner, Pat Gregoire, and the OJHL and JVI Sports Network, I'm Matthew Carrick. Enjoy the week, ladies and gentlemen. We'll talk to you next Saturday from the Toronto Rock Athletic Center.